Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your SmackDown review. So, there's like one thing to talk about on this show, and that happened right at the end. So, there's not a lot to say here on this show. Mustafa Ali won a match. R-Truth was dressed up as Santa. He got beat up. What more do you want me to say on this show? But, let's slog through this. Daniel Bryan attacks R-Truth. Like I said, I want to see R-Truth in the program, but seeing him dressed up as Truthy Claus, Carmella was there. Carmella looked good, but, it's also really funny. It's like with this whole women's revolution thing going on, for the past 4 years. And we just had a big pay-per-view. We're not done yet. The first ever this, the first ever that. Isn't it funny that, these girls are in TLC matches and Carmella was, the vicious heel women's champion just mere months ago, and now she's just standing there. Stop, Daniel, stop. Stop, Daniel, stop. She's helpless, like a helpless woman. I thought, this is the age of, characters calling themselves, like the man and all that, and, everyone, they're on the same level as the men. You didn't have Becky and Charlotte here this week, I think because it was tribute to the troops, because this show was taped December 18th. So you didn't have, a lot of the roster there. So Bryan, beat Truth up. But I don't know who Bryan's going to be in a program with, because it seems like they want to put him in a program with Mustafa Ali. But they did a whole opening segment here with Bryan and Truth. So I don't know what they got planned. I don't think they even know where they're headed into 2019. Then we had, speaking of Ali, Mustafa Ali defeated Cien Almas. Yes, that's right. The guy that had all the video package, the former NXT World Champion. Remember, they're pushing this is going to be, the dawning of a new day. We're listening to you guys, right? So you would think Cien Almas, the guy's got a great look to him. They've always been scrambling to get a new, Hispanic star. I mean, they've got Rey Mysterio back, so I guess they don't need that. But whatever the case may be, Almas looks like he could be something. He seems like he's good in the ring. But, all they've been about with him is, what happened to his gimmick, by the way? Wasn't he supposed to be the next Alberto Del Rio? Since they're probably not going to let Del Rio back in this company anytime soon. Didn't you, wasn't that the idea? He was supposed to be like a wealthy kind of character. And, but instead they just had him have good matches. Oh, if he has good matches, he's going to get over. Well, he's had some good matches since being on SmackDown, but is he over? Don't they get that doesn't work? It doesn't matter how many 5-star, 6-star, 7-star Meltzer Magoo approved matches you have. Doesn't matter. If you don't have a character, if you don't have charisma, if you don't have something that connects with the home audience, no one's going to watch you. And the thing is, what was so hilarious about this night, did you guys see? This wasn't even Christmas week. That's understandable for Raw, because that was live, wasn't it? This was a different story. This was taped a week ago, and the whole audience was dark, and you could see, on the hard cam, you could clearly see there was, every other seat was empty, pretty much. I was like, Jesus Christ, there used to be a time when McMahon wouldn't even let the cameraman shoot the empty seats. Well, when the hard cam is showing you empty seats, see, this is funny, actually, because I remember sometimes on certain shows they would swing the camera the other way, because when you're mostly looking, on the hard cam, it's usually to the left of your TV screen is where the entrance ramp is. I remember on certain shows it would be the other way, and it would be to the right, so the camera would be flipped, and it would be very disorienting to watch it. That might have been the reason why. But Ali gets the win here over Almas, and I'm just saying, like, this 205 liver, it's not even like he was the most popular 205 guy. You know what I'm saying? Why did they choose him above everybody else? Which is really confusing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, over a guy like Brian Kendrick, who we already saw in TNA, and we saw even in WWE glimpses of it. The guy has some charisma that's begging to come out. But, they did the whole stoner gimmick, but, they can't figure out how to utilize Kendrick, who's a veteran. Does anybody realize that how many years Kendrick has in this business? Talented guy. Small guy, but, same size as Ali. Maybe even a little bit bigger than him. I don't get, like, why out of all the cruiserweights we have to have Ali out of all people. And he's beating a guy like Almas, who's not really a small guy. He's not really your typical high flyer when you really look at him. Moving on, you had the Usos, Gallows and Anderson defeating The Bar and Sanity. Now, I understand Gallows and Anderson haven't been on TV for a while, but they were on the pre-show match at Survivor Series. Sanity, you would think, like, this is a team that's got something going for it. There are a bunch of psychos. You would think that, okay, we're finally getting what we want. Obviously, this is one of the very few lazy ways that they're, like, changing the game. Oh, let's put talent that hasn't been on TV that we just haven't put on TV. Oh, wow, that's such a life-altering, show-changing thing. Let's just put people on TV that should have been there in the first place. And what happens? They job out. Pretty much the same thing that was happening the last time they were on TV. What a waste. First of all, you don't even have Eric Young in the ring here. He's at ringside. They barely even get any, like, camera shots of him. And I just feel like a guy that looks like Killian Dane, why is he not, like, his first time in the ring in months here on SmackDown? Why is he not dominating? It's just such a waste. I mean, you look at this Sanity team, and it just looks like they should be the most dominant team. You know what I mean? If Harper and Rowan, and isn't it the other thing? It's like funny. It's like a guy like Luke Harper. He's like, okay, I get Rowan is injured, but they can't use Harper. Like, they can't figure out what to do with a guy who's like 6'8", like over 300 pounds. It's so hard to figure out. And the funny thing is, with a guy like Harper, he can do all the moves that Seth Rollins can. I've seen him do 1,000 suicide dives. Then we have backstage, people are congratulating Ali. Shelton Benjamin comes, out of nowhere, shakes Ali's hand. The funny thing is, wasn't he, like, didn't he also go to the Tribute to the Troops show? So, who came back and who didn't? I don't understand. So, Becky and Charlotte weren't there, but Shelton was there? And also, like, Ali said that it meant a lot, that he congratulated him and welcomed him to SmackDown. If that's the case, unless you were a Ruthless Aggression era fan, such as myself, it would, like, newer, younger fans are going to be like, well, why would Ali be so happy to meet him? He's just a jobber. Like, another wasted talent. Like, the way how things are nowadays, it's hard to imagine that Shelton was mostly a mid-carder back then. You look at him now and compare it to a lot of other guys, especially Ali. Like, Ali is on TV and Shelton is not. Like, he has a match and Shelton doesn't. Does anybody see what's wrong there? So Brian attacks him from behind. So he's attacking Truth. He's attacking Ali. Triple threat match, maybe? I mean, I don't know. Then we had a segment with The Miz and Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon finally gives in to The Miz. The Miz talks about, that his dad has never been proud of him. And, like, The Miz made this sound good. And that's just how good The Miz is on the mic. But this was a really ridiculous story. Like, it's all about, like, I don't get it. So if his dad told him that he wasn't proud of him retaining the title at WrestleMania because of The Rock helping him, then why didn't he maybe ask Shane McMahon for another world title match? So maybe he could win it and have a better title reign than the last one? No, let's not do that. Instead, let's ask to have a tag team, because that is, what, we made like his dad is a big Shane fan and all that. He said that's a guy who fights for what he believes in. But I like my version better. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just saying, if we're going to sell the story of one being proud of somebody, wouldn't it make more sense to make The Miz world champion instead? That would, that would have made his dad proud of him. But, it's just, what is this stupid storyline that they're doing? Like this love affair with The Miz and Shane. And why would Shane even want to, try it out? What would he get out of having a tag team with The Miz? Why should he care about The Miz's dad? Isn't he supposed to be a heel? I don't know. You try to analyze this shit, and I think you could become even dumber. You lose brain cells trying to figure it out. Samoa Joe defeated Jeff Hardy by disqualification. Who gives a shit? I just want this to end. There's so many better things they could be doing with Jeff. Why are we not seeing, Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan for the world title? Wouldn't that be better than Mustafa Ali and Yamadisima? Fucking Lion King, motherfucker. Alright. Rusev defeated Nakamurphy to win the United States title. I'm sorry, it's a little bit too late for Rusev. Isn't this sad? The end of the year, Nakamurphy, your Royal Rumble winner, and look how they capped the year off with him losing the title. He started the year off super strong, headed into Mania. Nakamurphy, he's on the top of the world. We never thought we'd see, McMahon giving a Japanese star, a non-WWE bred guy, his just dues, even though I didn't really think they were just dues, but according to many of the smarks, it was well warranted. We had their dream matches with AJ. They fell short of expectations, at least for me and many others. They didn't really appear to be dream matches. They weren't even really that great of matches. They were kind of subpar, kind of boring, kind of average at best matches. So, there you go. Now Nakamurphy doesn't have any title. That had to be the single worst United States title run I think I've ever seen. And I've also eased up on Nakamurphy a lot lately. I actually feel bad for the guy. I haven't really started to like him as much as with Asuka, but I kind of am really feeling sorry. The guy hasn't really done anything wrong to the point where they really gave him a lot in the beginning, and it's not his fault. Because I see what he could do with the heel stuff, and it hasn't been great, but that's because they haven't really given him a lot of time, and they haven't given him the right platform. They gotta do right by these guys who are creative. It's shit. That's the thing. That's why I laugh at it so much when they say, oh, it's all about the matches and new faces. The matches and the new faces ain't gonna mean shit if you've got a shit creative team, and I've said this for years. So let's just end this review already. This fucking misery. AJ Styles attacks Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon hits the dirt after he challenges AJ to let the animal out. What is up with, I get it. Vince McMahon is older. I don't understand why Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these people have had cosmetic surgery done to make themselves look like $1 million. Sly Stone looks fucking phenomenal for his age. And Vince McMahon, the bodybuilder, he's got a great body, man. But the thing is, his face, I'd say, looks so old. And it's something about him. He's just so odd now. That might play into, is the guy maybe senile? Because I look at him and he's just look how he was talking to AJ with the pokes. Let the animal out. I understand, Vince you know, Vince, that's one of the... I always said Vince McMahon is one of the greatest characters of all time. He's also one of the main reasons this product is such shit, because he hires and he does very poor quality control and assurance on his creative team, but you know, he's nonetheless, you look back, he's cut some of the greatest promos, some of the greatest segments. You look back on the, you know, life sucks and then you die, and that is so classic. I mean, Austin McMahon, still my favorite storyline of all time. Nothing will probably ever beat it. But he's an odd motherfucker right now. Remember with The Miz last week? Was that a manly knock? Like what is he even saying anymore in that low gravity voice of his? It's like, I don't understand. Like, does he have to talk like that? Maybe his voice is shot, but it just sounds so weird. He sounds creepy, like a real creepy old man. That's how he comes off, and he looks terrible. He looks like zombified. And so, you know, he tells AJ to let the animal out. He says, you know, you've dropped the title. He says, you know, he says, Daniel Bryan is out there competing. He didn't have a match, Vince. Like, he had a segment. He came out there and he attacked some people. So, Vince doesn't even know what's going on in his own show. Okay, honest mistake. But this just came out of nowhere. I know I've been asking for AJ to turn heel because he's a terrible fucking face, and you know, I'm laughing at a lot of these dirt sheets saying, oh, AJ had an incredible year, and he's, you know, they're gonna put him up against Orton at Mania, which I don't understand unless they turn Orton face now. I don't know what's going on. I would think unless they're gonna have another Shane AJ match, I don't know, this is hurting my fucking head. But so he knocks Vince down. He goes flying down to the floor. They come and check on him. The one punch and it's over. That was pretty fucking tame for an animal. He hits him and then he goes, ah! I mean, that you know, that little thing was like 10 times better than anything he's done all year. I'm not even joking. I'm happy to see him as a heel. It's just, that was a little sudden. That might have been the most sudden heel turn I ever seen. Let the animal out. It's like, well, okay. You just punch him and that's it. Just a little bit, you know, they're just, I know, like, I always say, like, they've got nothing to lose, so pull the trigger already, but damn, that was fucking fast. Anyway, guys, there's your SmackDown review. Fucking awful show, but, you know, what do you expect? They don't care this time of year, but then again, you think about it, they don't care any time of year. Anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post all my new videos. Check out some of the content I have posted here. And thank you for watching, guys. This has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.